Hello, fellow Rangers. Welcome back. And also, car review time. Hit the intro. In 1993, Vauxhall decided to replace its ever-reliable Vauxhall Nova with the brand new Vauxhall Corsa B. Right, fellow Rangers, we've been joined by none other than the owner of this lovely little Corsa, Mr. Darren Hook from the Flat Cap Motoring. Hello, my friend.
Hello, you alright?
And it's the first time in a very long time that you've been on my channel.
I know.
Normally it's me following you around the car meets.
Usually, yeah.
It's with, not forgetting, guys, 92 Automotive, the segment in the moment. But yes, and how are you today, my good friend?
Very well, mate. Very well.
Good.
All the better for seeing you.
Oh, that's nice to see, and yes, I'll pay you the cash later. But yes, we are in your lovely little Vauxhall Corsa Aurora, I believe.
Yes.
You've your long-term project that you're currently working on.
Yes.
So since we both found this car a few months ago.
Six months ago?
Yes, it's not
It's a bit overdue, this one, isn't it?
Yes, it has been a little bit overdue. I've had other stuff sadly going on, such as stuff going on with Beryl, Barry, Malcolm, family, that sort of thing. Anyway, this is a very iconic little car of yours. Well, it's not just because of your channel as well. It's the fact that how often do you see a Corsa B with such low mileage?
No, you don't.
You
don't see them anymore. That's the thing. I mean, obviously, like I had this as my first car. Obviously, as you know.
Yes. As just so that you, my audience out there, so you know what we're talking about. Darren had a Vauxhall Corsa B in its exact same colour as his very first car.
Yes, I did.
And
it was a project that me and my dad were doing. Like I said, I was quite young, but we wanted something because obviously he was going through his illness at the time. He wanted something to keep him busy, and obviously I wanted something to obviously get into cars and like learn and stuff like that. So we thought, well, we saw one that popped up for, I think we paid 150 quid for it, I think.
All right.
And it just sort of went from there, really.
Is that what got you into Vauxhall?
Yeah, well, Dad was always a big Vauxhall person. I mean, he always had. I remember having him. He had a Mark II Cavalier,
which is
SR.
another iconic car from the Vauxhall eras.
Yeah, that was an SRI, I think. He had loads of stuff. He had he had Coltons. He had what else did he have? Cavaliers, Mark III Cavalier. I remember he had. Yeah, just sort of. Yeah, it's always like there's always been that sort of thing with the family. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's. I wouldn't say we're a sort of one brand car family because we're not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, my mum likes her minis and things like that.
So it's mind you, a lot of families do follow a certain brand of car because there are a lot of families at one point, and I could get away with saying this myself. At one point, my family was a Rover family.
Yeah.
Because my father had a 214, my stepfather had a 216, and then my elder brother had the 218 coupe.
Yeah.
So you could, in a way, really, it's not a bad thing to be a certain brand family, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's not like, fortunately, you're not. A lot of people, when they stick to like a certain brand, they put their nose up at other manufacturers, but you don't.
No.
You obviously you got the Veloster at home.
Yeah.
You've had the MX-5 in the past.
I've had so many cars. So many cars. I can't remember. I think me and Kath done a list a while ago. I think it was about 36 cars I've had.
I mean, I'm feeling a lot better than I thought the other day when I counted how many cars I had.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what essentially? How much history do you know of this particular Corsa?
How much history?
Yes.
So the Corsa B was released in '93 to replace the Nova, obviously. Yes. Obviously, the Nova sort of run its course and that. So Vauxhall introduced this, obviously. Obviously, you get two sort of eras of it, which was your pre-facelift, which was 93 to about 96, and then 97 until about 2000.
Yeah.
They were making these.
And then he came out with the Corsa C.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are not a big fan of. I like the look of them personally.
Yeah. Well, Vauxhall are obviously doing something right because the Corsa is still being made today in whatever form. So.
Exactly, as Ford has sadly killed off the Fiesta.
Yeah.
Which is, even though I've never owned a Ford, that's a tragic loss in the world because that has been going around since the 70s. The Corsa is slowly losing its main rivals.
Yeah,
in a way, because when in the 90s, when the Corsa the Corsa B came out, the main rivals at the time was the Ford Fiesta, the Peugeot 205, and the 106.
Yeah.
At the Seat Ibiza. And the Citroen Saxo at the time.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Corsa has outlived its, not all its rivals, but it has outlived the majority of the rivals.
Yeah. Obviously, it's changed a lot.
Of course. Of over 20 years, it has kept up with the times.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is. Obviously this replaced the Nova, but it was very similar to the Nova. I mean, this is quite a basic car. There's no electric windows or anything like that. There's not even power steering, But having driven a Nova, it's very similar.
And did the Corsa ever share any parts from the Nova? As like in the Mark 1 and 2 shared a lot of the MX-5s, they shared a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Is that similar to the Corsa?
I think the Corsa was a completely new platform.
Oh, was it?
To be honest, yeah, I don't think there's anything that shares. The only thing that I can think of that might have is some engines.
Oh, some engines. Was it?
Yeah.
It was more mechanical then?
Yeah, well, the very early ones actually had distributors.
Oh, right.
So the earlier cars had distributors. Obviously, it wasn't until about '96 they started like fuel injection. Well, you could get fuel injection, but obviously it was from higher up. So
Yeah.
all your base models and that up to
I still had the choke.
about 1.4. About 1.48 valve, I think. So I don't think they had chokes.
Oh, didn't they?
No.
Not like the ever reliable at the time,
No.
even the Rover Metro.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said, it's electronic ignition. You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't obviously automatic chokes and things like that, but your ignition was still done off a distributor. So, and that changed in about 94, 95, I think.
All right.
So, but yeah, no, they might have shared some, but like not a lot of parts were shared with them. Not a lot.
It's interesting though, because a lot of manufacturers, when they bring out a new car, you can sort of see in like some of the design, they still kept like the original one or two little bits, like let's say like the indicator slot, for example, or something like that. But it's nice to see that Vauxhall went the extra mile to do not just the looks of the car, but also most of the other bits as well, because a lot of manufacturers do go, right, is there a way of saving money? Right, let's look in the parts bin. And there's nothing wrong against that, because there's loads of manufacturers out there that do it, and sometimes it can be very... It's a good way of keeping the cars if you're looking for parts as well. But regarding parts, talking about parts, what's it like to buy parts for?
Quite easy, to be honest with you. There's quite a lot of new stock that you can buy online and things like that. There's not really anything that I've sort of struggled to find, to be honest with you.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because a lot of cars that was around in the Corsa B years, they do struggle to get parts for them. It's like, for example, the late Rover Metro, for example, the Mark III, and then later on the Rover 100.
Yeah.
But certain parts for that car is as rare as rocking horse.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure there's not a part for this car that you probably couldn't buy there.
That's good. Pretty much from being in this car now, it's over 20 years old, but yet it's smooth.
She's 28 years old.
My apologies, 6 years old. She is smooth. She pulls very well for 1.28 valve.
Yeah.
And just for context, for my audience, it's you used to drive around in a 1.6 Mark 2, 1.8 Mark 2.5 MX-5.
Yes.
You've obviously dropped down engine power.
Yeah.
Do you find any lacking as in power?
Sometimes. I think like on hills, especially when there's like three of us go out for the day or whatever like that. Yeah, the power can sometimes be a problem. But just happily normal driving, it's quite a happy, pokey little car, to be honest with you. I mean, it's only 62 horsepower, I think. That was
60 brake from when I checked a few months ago, when I compared it with Malcolm, Project Dolomite.
Yeah.
And the scary thing was, they both have the same power.
Yeah.
From brand new.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, there was nothing really in here. I mean, I hadn't even got a cigarette lighter in here, because that was an optional extra.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah.
We will show that in a moment. Don't worry, fellow Rangers. But yes, and there's loads of things that you see that was optional extras on this car.
A lot of things were, and it was kind of the case with Vauxhall back then, because there was a spec for every sort of car. I mean, you've got to think, obviously, in the 90s, Vauxhall were kind of big in the sort of company car scene.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, with stuff like the Carlton, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, but with the Cavaliers, obviously, how far up the sort of management level you were to basically depended on what sort of Cavalier you got.
Yeah, so pretty much it's a bit like your under management. So you get the base Cavalier, and then as you gradually go up the ranks, and you get the SRI spec.
Like CDX, and you get your executive and all this sort of thing. But this is I'm pretty sure this is a spin, I think, or a swing or something like that. I can't remember off the top.
I believe it's a Riz. I think it was a Riz. I know it begins with an R.
I can't remember. I'll have to
but we will double check that, guys, before we get comments in below going, no, it's a certain spec. We will double check, I promise you. But from one or two things I have, from looking from the outside of the car, you have done not many things, but you have done one or two things.
No.
It's like I say,
it's a long term project car.
From the grill, that is a really nice grill.
Yeah.
Well, I remember you telling me a while before you bought that grill, that you debadged the front grill, and I honestly, I wasn't sure about it myself, but I was willing to see what surprised you at the show, and that was a really nice grill.
Yeah.
And the wheels, you've got slightly wider wheels on it since you bought this car.
Yeah, so the current wheels that are on it are from a Corsa C. So they're 15-inch stills, which are 6J wide, and I've got some 195/45 tyres on them. Because I want to sort of try and keep some originality of it. But obviously the wheels, on the standard car, are very small. They make the steering quite heavy as well.
Yes.
So, if I put some bigger steel wheels on it, like everyone's done like the alloys thing.
You do find a lot of people, myself included, I can't deny it myself. I've gone straight to seen a set of steel wheels on the car that I purchased, for example, and thought need alloy wheels. Whereas you thought about it logically in another way, that not many people do steel wheels, and from the looks of them, they are really nice looking.
I can say I've never seen it been done before. So, but I like different. I don't like to follow the crowd and things like that. I mean, a lot of people who have these even now, like you see, like on, everyone's got painted bumpers and that sort of thing. So I'm not really interested in that, because I want it to look different to a point where you walk past it and you think that's different, but that's cool.
Yeah, so something similar to as in what a youngster could have possibly done in the 90s if they owned this car. But at the same time still have the modern flair to it.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
So essentially, I was nice to see that the Corsa C alloy. I know they're not alloys. My apologies if I repeat saying alloys.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see some parts from the Corsa C that fit.
Yeah, well, they're 4x100s. They're kind of standard sort of Vauxhall fitment, really. Obviously, amongst other things and whatnot. So,
right. Any sneak previews that you could give your very good friend from Lone Ranger Motoring, as we've essentially been. I've seen how far you've come with so far with your little car. Any sneak previews for our audience?
So she will have a new look sort of by the middle of the year. A few new parts, obviously, that are currently in my eBay basket leading to people. So yeah, it will have a new look, which is sort of keeping with the sort of retro modern sort of thing that I'm trying to stick with.
So something like similar to the Singer 911, as in the fact that it's got newer technology underneath the bonnet, but it still looks like a 70s 911.
Yeah, I want to keep the age of the car. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's
Don't worry, fellow Rangers. That was just a bird that decided to play chicken. But don't worry, we didn't run it over. Turn around, we'll be having it for dinner.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
That means I'll have to wash the car again.
Yes, as you're probably all well aware, we will be keeping a little track of Darren's Corsa as he goes along, as I honestly believe it is going to be a very adventurous little car, as one, you don't see this shaped Corsa around anymore. It's an iconic Corsa, as a Corsa, yes, I know it's not the 3-door, but the 5-door Corsa B starred in the 2-part episode of Doctor Who in 2009 with David Tennant, and when they were getting away from the Master, with Martha Jones behind the wheel. Well, fair enough, it's not the Corsa B, it's the B, but I'm not a big fan of the 5-door, and I don't think... Are you a big fan of the 5-door?
I don't like the back end of it, I'll be honest with you.
It just doesn't look right, but
No.
It does have a couple minutes of fame on there, and it did appear as one or two of the police cars in The Bill during the 90s.
Yes, it did, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Right, so essentially, you say on some hills, if you have all three of you in the car, you have problems as in regarding pulling away and going up hills. Do you have any plans for performance modifications?
Yes, I do, yeah. Still undecided what, but I think we will be putting some slightly larger in. Just to cope with, just to cope with sort of journeys and that, really. Like, I'm not building it for any sort of track days or anything like that. I don't really do that sort of thing. That's not really my scene.
Yeah.
I like going to sort of watch it.
Yeah.
And I have done a couple of track days in the past, but with this car, no, I don't think so.
I think if you went to go down that track day you sort of look thing, you would end up losing the iconic look of the Corsa, because by the time you start doing bits for track use, you lose a lot of the character of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people do say, not many people, but after I've spoken to a few people, they say that once you turn the car to full track use, you sort of lose the usefulness of the car, and then it loses its character.
I go with that. I'd go with that, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's never gonna, go and set that round, Castle Coombe. Other racetracks are available.
Yes, such as the big Nürburgring. You never know. One day that could be an idea for a trip.
Could be an idea for a trip, yeah, but not in this.
No, not go around the track, but watching people go around the track.
Yeah.
But yes, essentially, the Corsa B, from riding in this car, because
it's surprisingly comfortable, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The seats are very comfortable.
Yeah, it is a poverty spec car, mind you. Like I said, there's nothing in here at all.
You say that, but at the same time, though, a lot of people, this would have been, to some people, this would have been like the top spec car for them. When I was growing up, this would have been, if we ended up buying a new car, this would have been the similar spec that my father possibly could have gone with.
Yeah.
And the seats are very comfortable. You got plenty, for a 3-door, you got plenty. I can literally, from where my seat is right now, I can stretch my legs fully, and I'm not a short person, everyone. I am a 5'9" person, and I've got plenty of space to stretch my arms and legs.
It's even a nice amount of space in the back. Like when Toby comes along, obviously for days out and things like that we do it. He's got plenty of space back there. He's got plenty of headroom as well.
And with this door handle where it is, it is in that right position where you can just rest your arm
Yeah.
And essentially, you tend to forget about it to the point where
Yeah.
you got to wake your hand up because you've forgotten about it that long. It's gone to sleep. But
You have got a Jesus handle in here.
yes, you do have one, but I don't think I need it.
No.
I'm
not with this amount of power, you're not going to need a Jesus handle.
Mind you, somebody said that he did need a Jesus handle when I took him out in Vauxhall, and he ended up using it.
I did use it. Yeah.
And Vauxhall, which was my 1.1 Rover Metro with 1.1S, had the same amount of power, but yet he needed to use it.
Just driving scares me.
Yes, I'm happy to admit my driver scares me too.
Yeah.
Hence the reason on the back of my father's car, when I still owned that Mini, it still has a sticker. My driver scares me too on the back.
Yes.
But it's a truly iconic car. It's nice to see all the 90s touches in here.
Yeah.
It really makes me feel a little bit old in a way, because I was born in 89 and this was essentially brand new when I was a small boy.
Yeah.
And seeing how well it is aged. Some cars age like a fine wine. You look at it and go, well, I didn't realise how nice it looked back then. And then other cars, like the Duke, will age like milk.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
like milk.
And you're looking at it going, it's only a few years old, but yet you're looking at it going, really? Do you really still make that car?
Yeah.
But we won't pick on the Duke too much, or will we?
No. That's for another day.
But that is for another video. Well, I just wanted to annoy the Nissan Duke owners who's watching. Right, Mr. Flatcap, let's have a look around your car.
You might guess.
The Vauxhall Corsa B. The iconic little car. You can see, fellow Rangers, that how well those wheel trims and the steel wheels look.
Yeah.
That is...
So they're the original centre caps that came with the car.
Whoa.
When it was new. When I took the old wheel trims off, because there was another set on there, and these were actually underneath it.
That actually looks very, very nice, actually. It's mad to think that that's the originals from possibly 1997.
Yeah.
They
were in surprisingly good nick, to be honest with you.
I
want to sort of, just keeping its age, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see why, and it's looks very cute and at the same time very retro, as people like to say nowadays. That grille honestly looks like something that would have been done during the 90s.
Yeah.
Even that, I will be honest, it's grown on me a lot since you've done it. And I can't imagine this car without that grille now.
No.
Because it's not these here.
Yeah.
Also, I know you got plans for the bumpers.
Yeah.
But it also matches these.
Yeah.
These, which it's that iconic look. You got the cute little eyes of the Corsa, and then you got
glass. They're glass headlights, they're not plastic.
Oh yeah, especially as many manufacturers nowadays go with plastic headlights rather than the proper glass.
Even a lot of cars at this age were plastic, but they're actually glass.
Like the early Mazdas, they had plastic, and they used to tend to.
Yes.
The MX-5s, they used to tend to fade around by here.
Yeah.
Whereas that you can feel good quality workmanship there, and the stance of it at the moment. I know you said you're considering lowering the car slightly, but even at the moment, this stance, with the wheels being wider,
the wheels fill the arches a little bit.
And you got that. What I love about this, and I will let the audience see this as well.
A little bit.
It's to say, look, I'm here, but it's not too far out. It's more.
She's not shouting about it.
Yes, it's not the part where it's going to be, yes, I'm questioning the law on this, but no, it's got that nice segment where you can see tread from the side of the car.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I do love that colour. Is really, really nice. It was a very lucky find to find.
Yeah, rainbow blue. I think it's officially named now.
Oh, rainbow blue!
Yeah, I think it's called rainbow blue.
That from the looks of this little car, it honestly, if you look, when I can see why they named it rainbow blue. Oh, and coming to the back of the car, I'm guessing with before we get to the back of the car, are you going to keep these the black, or
not sure yet?
Not sure about these yet.
Sure.
And I'm guessing, of course, when the camera gets to it, another thing that you're pondering around is the door mirrors, is it? Going to the back of the car. Right, let's have a look at this iconic back end. And that juicy back end. Which is...
Back end.
Yes, and one thing I do like is the fact that you got the factory mud flaps on the back.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of factory mud flaps.
Yeah, I did think about taking them off, but I just like, no, I think it looks nice
looks
where they are.
more iconic.
Yeah, and it's, like I said, it's parts that are hard to find now.
Exactly.
I mean, things like that you do struggle with. Yeah. Like to find, like they don't make them anymore.
And regarding mud flaps on the front.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider seeing if you can find some?
I would, if I could find some. I have looked.
Fellow Rangers, if you know of any Corsa B mud flaps that for the front of the cars,
they have to be genuine.
Genuine Corsa.
I only buy genuine parts.
If you know anyone that has got them possibly for sale, and that's the genuine ones for this era car, please get in touch in the comments section below. We will be very interested. Right, let's have a look in your boot, Mr. Hook.
If you must. It's for the shit. But...
Language, Mr. Hook.
Yeah.
Children watches.
Yeah.
It's right. For the size of car this is actually a very big boot.
Yeah, it's quite a reasonable size. I mean, it's not...
I
mean, you could probably do a small weekend away in
it. I could fit a small flat cap in there. You got the yellow cable tie, so I don't know what you've been up to.
No.
And I don't want to know. And you got the full. This is what I like about cars like from this era.
Yeah,
it's not a.
It is a full size.
It's not the pancake size Space Saver. It's the full size.
Yeah.
Spare wheel. That is.
I'm going to swap that for one of the other ones, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got the spare set in the garage still. That one just looks a bit rusty.
Yeah, it does look a little bit, but in fairness, from the tyre.
Paint it, actually.
Yeah, the tyre looks very, very good for its age. It does, apart from the rust, it does look like it's not really been used that much.
Yeah.
Right. I think we'll move on to the engine bay. Hello, fellow Rangers. As you're probably well aware, I am an ambassador to the 92 Automotive. Mel, who runs the company, has now brought out a new product in her shop. She now sells beanie hats that you can buy in multiple different colours. And not just that, she sells t-shirts, she sells hoodies, these lanyards and stickers, as well as the photo shoots that she currently does at the moment. And if you use the discount code Lone Ranger 10, you will get a 10% discount on whichever product you order. She doesn't just do all this stuff, she also does a magazine that comes out once a year. It is a very great purchase, filled with amazing photos. She is an amazing photographer, and fair play to her. So just remember, if if you are very interested in buying anything from the 92 Automotive, use the discount code Lone Ranger 10 at the checkout, and you will get the 10% discount. And you're not just supporting me, you're supporting my very good friend Mel. So thank you very much. So the iconic 1.28 valve.
Yeah. 60 horsepower of... Yeah.
60 of the mighty horsepowers.
Yeah, it's a little bit dirty under here at the minute.
Well, it's a usable car. It gets used. It's not a trailer crane. It doesn't just sit on a trailer and not be used. That's the whole point of these cars. It's not.
But there's no, you said there's no rust. They usually rust around the sort of top mounts and things like that on the strut tops and behind the bulkhead. But if you look, I don't know if you can see.
Yes, I can see that. It's looking very clean.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've seen so many Corsa Bs in my time that have sadly, time has not been nice to them.
No, they do suffer a little bit with rust.
But from here, this is an absolutely lovely little engine. It's got, of course, the 90s qualities to it, and
it's just simple.
I believe now that 90s classics city cars, as this would be, is now getting popular again.
And that's the thing, because everything's like easy. It's so easy to work on.
Yeah, especially that oil filter, for example, is you can literally, if you service a car yourself, you can do that yourself. You don't need specialist tools.
Nope.
And it's just so easy.
Yeah.
The air filter is by there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing something is possibly coming to do with that in the future.
Possibly, but like I said, it'll probably be when the engine's changed.
Oh, of course, especially as you're changing the engine.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, roughly what sort of engine possibly?
Well, it'll stay Vauxhall, because I want to keep it a Vauxhall car. There's a few different options at the moment. A few people have said about like putting Saab engines and things. The only problem is with that is you've got to cut part of the bay out.
Yeah, that would be a shame
and
to
I don't want to
cut
do it
that.
because it's, the car is so original. I don't want to cut anything. So
that would be a crying shame if you did that, as essentially
it's never going to go on a track or anything like that. So something which is a little bit more usable, maybe like a C16 or an X16E or something like that.
All right. And which particular cars are they from, if you can answer that one, as there's bound to be someone in the comments below asking which particular cars are they from?
A lot of Astras and things like that. So there's a 1.6 16 valve engine. A lot of people use them actually in like junior rally cross.
All right,
things like that.
Yes,
they're quite tunable engines.
Yeah, and if I remember right, and please correct me, the Corsa B was also in the junior WRC.
Yes, I believe it was, yeah.
Just as the later Corsa C was.
Well, the GSIs of these were 1.6s.
Yes.
They were C16 engines. Again, something that's quite hard to find nowadays.
Yeah, the top of the range spec Corsa Bs, these have been sadly seen the wrong edge. A lot of them have seen the wrong edge side of a hedge.
Yeah, and the ones that you do see that are available are very, very expensive. Like one sold at auction recently, I think, for about £7,000.
Whoa!
So, yeah, there's not.
It just shows how
cheap ones of those around.
It just shows how much people. At one point, a couple of years ago, you couldn't get rid of this car for love nor money.
No,
but now people are now seeing how good they were, and they're becoming collectors' items.
They are coming a bit collectible, yeah.
But yes, essentially, this is an iconic little car, and such a beautiful little car. I know I'm a little bit biased as I helped you find it. I was the one that found it on eBay.
Yes, you were, yeah. And you made me drive to Sheffield to go and get it.
But it was well worth the trip. Right, Mr. Flatcap, of course, thank you for coming and showing us this.
It's quite all right.
This absolutely gorgeous little Corsa, and yes, fellow Rangers, he's feeling very brave. He's letting me have a go beyond the wheel. Feels. I bet you're looking at him going, "Are you crazy?"
I'm as nervous.
But apart from this little Corsa, you've been doing YouTube for about a year now, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I started on the 3rd of March, I think it was, last year.
It's a year now, essentially, because we are now a couple of days after the 3rd of March.
Yeah.
And so, out of curiosity, for the Lone Ranger audience, what got you to consider doing YouTube?
I don't know. I suppose it's sort of, you're obviously passionate about, something. I mean, I like to, go to many shows, as you know.
Yes.
Obviously, I like to try and attempt, things, like mechanical things and whatever else. So, yeah, I just thought, well, I like doing it, so why don't I film stuff along the way? And, other people might like it.
Exactly, because when the Lone Ranger Motoring first started, you didn't appear that often, but you did appear now and again at quite a lot of meets there. Of course, that's how we met, was cut through car meets.
It's Hanley, I think.
Yes, it was. At Hanley, famous Hanley Farm.
Yes.
Won't be long now before
we'll be back
the first meet there, and me and Darren will be there, and we don't bite. Well, I do until I've had food. But no, all joking aside, if you do see us and you want to say hi, don't be afraid to, because that's another reason why we both do this. Is to get to know people and talk about cars.
It is the power of the car community.
Exactly,
and it's. I think we're pretty much the same. Like my view is that we might not like every single car which has ever been made.
Yeah,
but we need to appreciate all car enthusiasts, really, because we're probably one of the last of our time.
Yeah, exactly. The last
with things the way
petrol
changing.
heads.
Yeah. Things changing the way they are. I mean, you've got how many electric cars are we looking at here in this pub car park?
Yeah, exactly. It's a few of them, and there's been a lot of controversies, which there will be a video on that at some point.
Yes,
but yes, it's nice to see that you are. That's why you've come into YouTube, and the fact that you started off with Hannah, the Montana.
Yeah.
The MX-5 Mark 2.5 in red.
Yep.
It nearly said copper red.
You nearly said copper.
Nearly. That's because I'm thinking of my old Garner. It's Garner red. My apologies, fellow Rangers. That's me thinking of my old Mark III MX-5.
Yeah.
But now you've got this beautiful little Corsa B. It's nice to see that you got plans for it, because a lot of people just go with the flow, whereas
well, it's all the plans are what I was going to do with that.
Yes.
I've still got all the we made a great big list of things that we were going to do, and I still have that list up in my loft, and I've never been able to bring myself to throw it out.
To be honest with you, I'd recommend never throw that out, simply because I'm not just saying that because the camera's on in front of us, but also that still ties to the past.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, this is my way of remember, because I don't have a lot of his. I don't have hardly anything. I mean, I've got the chain which I wear around my neck. That's it, and now I have this.
And in a way, really, you could say this is to honour him. This car, this build.
It is. Yeah.
And it's nice to see that, because a lot of people tend to steer away from doing stuff like that, and it's nice to see you honouring him in your own way, as in Aurora here, and also keeping another fantastic little car on the road.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. I mean, this is getting on by. It's close to 30 years old now.
Yes, it's only a couple of years younger than yourself.
Yeah, well, this is 97 and I'm 92.
So. And if you're wondering, fellow Rangers, I'm 89. I'm an average.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my way to remember him, and I've got things to incorporate him into into the car as well. So it's
that could be something that you could just once the car is essentially there's no such thing as a finished project car.
No,
there's
agree.
never such thing as a finished project car. But when you got a lot of the parts done on your car, you could have those plans, as you could say, on the dashboard at car meets or car shows.
Yeah, I could do. Yeah.
As long as it's not too personal, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be an idea.
I'm actually looking at getting something that my mum's helping me with at the moment is getting a signature of his, and I'm going to have it made into like a graphic.
Oh, right.
And I'll put it somewhere on the car. Not sure where I'm going to put it yet, but that's yeah.
I will. Don't worry, fellow Rangers. We will be keeping tabs on this little Corsa and this amazing build because it is a fantastic build. I love this idea because it's not just your ties to the past, but also I find that if anyone's suffering with mental, as in depression, it's a good way of keeping your mind occupied.
Well, obviously,
because you're thinking about this, not feeling bad.
As you know, obviously, we both obviously know that obviously we've both suffered in the past. I mean, I still suffer, and for me to, I've always kicked myself for years that I never finished that car, and as soon as I bought it and as soon as I started doing it, I just it lifts you, and that's how doing something like this should make you feel. It shouldn't feel like a chore. Like when I had the Mazda started feeling like a chore.
Well,
hence why it was moved on.
Yeah, when the car starts feeling like a chore to work on, it's time then to say, right, move on, get something else.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like myself when I sold my Mark III a couple of years ago. I regretted it, and now look at me, I got Barry, the Mark III project car. There's lots of things I regret not doing to that car, and now I've got one, and again to do them. And it's a bit like with you and Aurora, really. You didn't get a chance to, in a way, it's similar. You didn't get a chance to do bits of this car when you had it, but now you're making up for it, and it's nice to see. It is a beautiful car. There's no such thing as it regarding cars. Some people might disagree. That's fine. That's your mileage may vary.
Exactly.
But my personal opinion, it's a she or a he, because the fact is, all cars you can get two identical. You can get two identical cars. Everything exactly right down to the spec. Everything, including the mileage. But yet, one car might be slightly heavier on the steering, and the other car might be not as quite light on the clutch, for example, and one might not.
No two cars are identical,
and I thought, and some cars, it's like I had my old Citroen C2. It must have been an electrical fault, I'm not sure, but sometimes the radio would never turn off. But yet, when you opened the bonnet and you went to go to the fuse box, it would magically turn off before you'd even touch it. It would just turn off, and it's be like you're looking at it going, "The hell?" Well, but anyway, as he's very, very, very kindly offered me the chance of the drive, thank you. Right, fellow Rangers, the first start of me behind the wheel of the Corsa. And if you hear, yes, he's praying already. He's going off forever. Oh, to heaven. And you meant to, it's pretty much meant to be, our Father who art in heaven, I shall be there in a minute.
You're getting off topic.
But yes, well, I like being off topic.
Just drive the goddamn
car. Somebody's getting nervous.
I'm not nervous.
Ooh, first turn.
Yeah. It's quiet, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And if you're wondering, fellow Rangers, why if Darren tells me left and right, it's simply because he knows these are slightly better than I do.
And he gets lost a lot.
Yes. I have driven the car, but not on camera and not since these wheels have been fitted.
No.
Ooh.
The steering's a bit lighter than...
A lot lighter than I
yeah.
can remember. It really feels...
Yeah, because there's not as much rubber, obviously, altering the resistance, so left, mate.
Left side.
That's a one way.
Oh, yes, of course.
God's sake.
Pray for Darren in the comments. And so it's right here,
Yeah,
is
right
it?
here, mate, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you can. Good there.
We can edit these bits out.
Now, keep them all in. Because we don't just show only the good bits.
No.
It's because there's also
We like filming the fuck-ups.
language, Timothy.
Or how else would you say it?
The screw-ups.
Oh, fair enough. Left, mate.
Lefts here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. You can be. Too many people do too much serious stuff on YouTube, whereas I like to incorporate some amount of sense of humour into it, as
Yeah.
life is too short, and you come to my channel to have not just to see amazing little cars like this Corsa, but also to have a laugh. It gets you away from your woes in the world. And I will be honest, if you just plump me behind the wheel of this car now, without telling me the age of this car, I would have said to you it's a 2000s car.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, the steering is really, really light.
Don't use my center caps.
Don't worry, I'm keeping my eye on them. And if I didn't know that this car didn't have power steering, I would have sworn blind in that it had power steering.
Yeah. Like I say, it's a lot lighter now than what it was before. Like I say,
a lot lighter, to be damned.
Yeah.
It feels like you've got power steering in this car.
Yeah.
Fair enough, you might feel it when you're parking up, but that's nothing.
No.
And the only thing I've noticed, and it's just for your knowledge, it feels like one of the wheel weights might have popped off, possibly, because you can feel a slight bumping.
Yeah, that's because you've got a smaller wall tyre.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
my apologies.
I did check.
That's fair enough. I'm just making sure, because that's another thing that we all do, fellow ancients, is that we look out for each other regarding our cars.
Yeah.
There's a strong bond with you and a car. It's not just for Christmas or whenever long you have the car. It's a lifetime sort of a feel.
Yeah.
And for 1.28 valve, my goodness.
You haven't got 6 gears, mate.
I know. I haven't got 6 gears in Barry either, so...
You went for 6 then?
Yeah, no, I was making sure I was in 5th.
Yeah, it does rev quite, like I said, because it's a small engine, it is quite a revvy little engine.
It's really, really nice, I've got to be honest. It's what you do in trying to sell me onto a Corsa B.
It's not about trying to sell. But that's the thing, though. I mean, these cars aren't expensive. You know, they're not expensive to buy, but they give you an insight into like retro motoring. You know,
and I will be honest, I am absolutely loving how this car is driving.
It's quite a likeable car, isn't it?
Yes, it's like it's a bit like, let's say, if this car was a person in a way, it'd be Tompo from Last of the Summer Wine. It
is a huge laugh.
It is a lot of fun, but at the same time,
because you've got no power there, it's like you can have fun at like 30 miles an hour. It's hilarious.
Because what I do when I'm driving, I tend to look forward and then feel the speed through the car, and essentially, you're looking down and you go, "Ooh, hello." I think you're doing 50, but then when you look down, you're only doing 30.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these little cars. Because I, as everyone is well aware, I had a Rover Metro, and the steering wasn't too heavy, but it was heavy-ish.
How does that compare to?
With this as it is now,
Yeah,
I drive this all. If I had to choose between my Metro, and you're well aware I love my Metro, I absolutely adore my Metro.
yeah.
So I'll choose this over the Metro all the time.
You could use it every day.
Yeah, and you can. You can definitely feel like you can. And what I love about this car, I don't know if you've noticed this when you drive it. It feels like it's clawing.
Yeah.
It's trying to impress you, even though it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
So it is an absolute joy. And I'm a straight talking person. I will say it as I see it, and
That's what we get onto, right?
that's probably why. Yes, the fact that pretty much, if you think something, you'll say it, and vice versa. And just in fourth, for example, pulling away,
Yeah.
it feels like, even though it's only a little 8 valve 1.2, I honestly think it might. If it was my car, I would. And obviously, you want something a little bit slightly more power.
Yeah.
But if it was me, personally, I don't think I would do anything regarding the power. Fair enough, it'd have a nice exhaust on it.
Yeah.
It's all
That isn't in my basket.
Is it right here?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Right. So, but essentially, it is so much fun to drive, and I'm feeling very honoured at the moment as well. Well, the clutch is bang on where you want it to be. It's where you expect it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's slightly heavier than a more modern clutch. There's a man who's got an E350, which is a diesel, but he's got an AMG badge on it.
And
That
he's trying to
drive like a knob.
And he's trying to compensate for something.
Yeah.
But it's only because he's seen the Corsa B and thought, I've got to compensate. Because the Corsa B is so good.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely enjoying this. This is a genuine smile, everyone. And this is what I love about small cars that everyone can afford.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're the cars that truly make you think, why do people badmouth them?
Yeah.
You'll get the likes of the Hamster, for example, or Clarkson. They'll go, oh, you really wouldn't want a car like this. But yeah, when you get beyond the wheel of one, shows how well the handling is. Hands off the steering wheel, perfectly straight.
Yeah, traction upgrade, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It sits well on the road as well. Like, it's not uncomfortable. It's not, you could do a long distance in this car.
Yeah, I can honestly, personally see myself, if I owned this car as it is now, I would be very happy with it.
Yeah.
Heck, if I drove this car before I bought Barry, I'll be going, come on mate, how much?
Yeah.
I'll be genuinely, seriously would be saying, come on.
I'd never sell it.
Of course.
I'd never sell it. Because I'd never find another one like it.
That's very true. And then knowing me, I'd end up turning around and going, right, I need your help to find one.
That's something that can be arranged.
Barry, be careful. But no, in all seriousness, I love Barry to bits. But this course, if the channel grows anymore than it is, once we hit 1,000, I might have to consider it. Because a little present to myself to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely.
That massive milestone, and I can see myself using this car as inspiration.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to drive, and it is very much appreciated for you allowing me to have a go.
That's quite alright.
So thank you very much for that.
That's quite alright.
And right, fellow Rangers, we'll call the video here today.
Yeah.
As essentially, as Darren is still praying that nothing happens, and we'll call it while it's still going good.
Yeah.
But the link will be, the card will come up on the screen now. to Darren's Flat Cat Motoring channel. Subscribe to him, he's doing very well. We will catch up to you. And the link will be in the description below. And also, if you like the cap I'm wearing, the 92 Automotive is selling them now. The link to the merch store will be in the description below.
And don't forget to use your discount code.
Of course, my discount, thank you very much, Mr. Flatcap, but my discount code of Lone Ranger 10. And that is Lone Ranger 10. Of course, it will be in the description below. But again, if you have made it this far into the video, I'd like to thank you all.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
And please consider putting a like on it. And if this is your first video with me, please consider subscribing to the channel.
Yep.
One, because that helps me out massively, and two, I'm trying to build up my community up a little bit. I also have a Facebook group, not Facebook group, a Facebook page which you can follow me on, which is the Lone Ranger Motoring Facebook page. A link will be in the description below. You will get to see a lot of exclusive shots in there as well, so that things that don't sometimes end up on the channel will end up on there. But till the next time, my fellow Rangers, I hope you take care, have a good time on whatever you're doing, enjoy whatever you're driving, unless you're in a Prius or in a Duke, and you take care. And from me, Aurora, and Mr. Flatcap, Lone Ranger, signing off.
Cheers.
Really? Do I have to really give the car back?
Yes.
Buy your own.